Good morning, everybody. Morning, Lee. How are you today? How's everybody today? Good and faithful servants. I hope. I hope. Uh, I was thinking about this because it's really it's one of those deals where you really can't blame the. Hang on, I gotta let a dog in. Who we got there? Come on. Yeah. Sorry, I went the other way. But you can't really blame Baxter. Can't blame the non-believers for thinking religious people or people who claim religion are crazy. Because, geez, look at look at the people we put out there. These are the people we put on TV and go, that man, that's a Christian right there, man. Look at him. Look at him. Look at old Gary Paulwell. Look at all them good Christians. Scary. Isn't that scary, guys? Do they believe the word at all? Do they? Because if they did, you would think they'd act differently. Sorry, I try to get all that snot out before I come on. But boys, y'all need to take it outside. That ain't gonna fly, man. Two psychopaths. Y'all wanna go outside? No family, brother. But isn't it crazy though? Those are the people we put out front there. You know, these are Christian leaders, man. These guys are cream of the crop when they're not. We know they're not. They know they're not. Oh, by the way, I know it's confusing. I know it's irritating. I ordered me a new chair. I know this thing squeaks a lot. I go back and watch the videos and I'm like, oh man, that thing squeaks a lot. Ugh. So I'm getting me a new chair. Wake and bake with you guys. Good morning, good morning. But yeah, can you blame them? Can you blame them? Why would non-believers, if all they'd seen, you know, are our public figures that represent Christianity? Not hard to believe they, don't want any of that. I can do that on my own without having any of them problems. But we're lucky. We're lucky to be living in this time, man. This is nuts. In my lifetime, there's been more freaking change and everything. Everything. What are you chewing on? Are you chewing on the baseboard, Stanley? I'm sorry, guys. Freaking dogs. I just hear this over there. I know y'all can hear it too. Oh, and that squeaky ass chair. But yeah, I mean, look. Oh my gosh. My whole life it's been nothing but a huge one big sigh up. Top to bottom, side to side. And they're even a meow. They're not hiding anymore. They're not hiding it at all. Not at all. It's right out there in our faces now. We got no. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are you gonna do? Half of the country's like, yeah, you gotta get jabbed, and yeah, you gotta wear your mask, and yeah, you gotta listen. What's wrong with you? And the other half's like, you're crazy. There's nothing wrong with me. Oh yeah, it's crazy. You don't listen to the science. Science is stupid. Yeah. What do you do? What do you do? I wonder how many people, if they were sat down and explained to and fully understood that they don't have any idea what a virus is. They've never isolated. They've never separated. They've never reinfected. Ever. And when you say that kind of stuff and you bring that kind of stuff out, I'm pretty sure, Haley, I'm pretty sure that was part of one of my times my channel that took off because you tell them the truth. It's never happened, ever. And I was watching a Dr. Kaufman deal the other day, and that's their fight, man. They're trying to, and these are graduated MDs, physics. Oh, they have all the credentials, and they're saying this ain't real. It's not right. And boys, come on, man. Come on. Y'all have had hours to do that before I got in here. Hours. And you don't care. No, you don't. Sorry. I can't think straight with them over there. But our level of deception is so out there that there's going to be a lot of, you'll never convince somebody. You'll never get them to just stop and listen and calculate and comprehend. Because those guys, I don't know how many times they've said it. Virology, pseudoscience. It's not. They've never proven anything. They've never brought forth a virus and said, there it is. They've never done it. They've never isolated. They've never sterilized it and purified it. And then they've never done a reaction with it, ever. All the way hundreds of years now. Over 100 years they've been saying this. They've never done it. But everybody just says, oh, it's true, it's real. That guy's a virologist. He's got to know. He knows everything about the little stuff nobody can see. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. All he knows is what he's been told. And what he's been told, those people just repeating it. They don't know. And they'll fight to the death to defend it. Even though they don't know. Think about that. Even though they don't know what's up, they will argue and fight to the death to say, you're wrong. There are such things as these little creatures that do nothing but want to kill us. And that's another thing. That's another thing. If you think about it, in nature, the things that kill each other, the things that battle, right? It only happens, when their paths cross. Right, like, yeah, I won't take it either. But the idea that they found or they know about a very small, invisible thing they call a V, and they know that it's there, but they've never seen it. They know how it works, but they don't know anything about it. They know how to treat it, but they know nothing else about it. They don't know nothing. I just say, it's got to be this. Everything else has its yin and yang, right? But when it comes to us, our viruses, we get them from animals. We get them and they supposedly go through our food sources, and then they come bubble up, and then they get into us, and then whoa, we need a vaccine. We need a jab. Only thing that'll fix that. How do you know? You don't even know what it is. You don't know what it is. And you're like, fix it. Come over here. I'll fix it. I know exactly what's going on. It's just sad. It's just sad. Oh, that was so fun. I watched a video of a dude who's dogging on Witsit Gets It. I don't know how many of y'all know Witsit Gets It, but I played some of his stuff on here before. And he's doing just like all the other non-player characters do. He's listening to him talk, and then he stops the video and he goes, again, just using big words, big fancy words to try and, confuse people. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He's just using big words. It just, just dogging on old Witsit. And then I go, who is this douchebag? So I click on this video on his channel and I look through his stuff. And it's all just, bull crap. Nothing intelligent. And so I go about my business. Well, like a day or two later, I see a deal on his deal that says I was wrong about Witsit. I'm like, what? And the dude did. He comes on. He goes, well, come to find out, he's right. I don't have any idea what he's talking about. He's right. I said he was using big words, and I said he was, purposely confusing. He goes, well, turns out I don't know enough to even say anything. I went and I looked up these words. I looked up things, and yeah, just because I don't understand those words doesn't mean he's wrong. And the guy did a huge apology, right? You'll never hear that. And he was a very smug British guy doing, how they do. It was just, it was very encouraging. Because especially the thing he was critiquing on was one of Witsit's engagements with somebody about the ether. And of course, this guy knows about the ether, but he's just dogging with it. Yeah, this guy using words that are not even real words. And well, he did the same thing with old Kenny, old fat Kenny, and over Kenny's magnetism and ether. And what was bad was that happens all the time. These people sit and they watch a video and they don't understand the words that are being said. So they sit back and go, he's just doing a word salad. The Hereford. I've heard some stuff about that, Lee. I hadn't really looked at it much, to be honest with you. Now, is that Hereford, as in Hereford, Texas, which is right up by the border by Amarillo, New Mexico, Oklahoma? That Hereford map? Because there's some crazy stuff up there in the panhandle, all over Texas. Crazy stuff, man. These people, I was looking at old pictures of my hometown, and it is really, as a matter of fact, why don't we do that? I've still got them up, so let's take a look at some of them, because it's some crazy stuff. Hey. Am I sharing? I hadn't done this in a while. I don't know. Yeah. Now this right here, the Iron Orchard, it's a movie or book a guy from my hometown wrote about the oil fields and stuff out there in West Texas. But some of these pictures, I stopped here last night. Let's see. We'll kick through. This guy has a bunch of personal stuff in here, but there are historic photos. This is all. There, let's do this. Close it and start it back again. Where did it go? Well, I messed that up, didn't I? Damn. Why did I do that? I will find those again. Sorry about that. But yeah, some of those old pictures we have in our little old hometown. A hotel that's, I think it's 20 plus stories high. And this is out in the middle of flat West Texas. And they say, this is what's so crazy. A lot of the stuff around my hometown, we have one of the amphitheaters from the Army Corps of Engineers. Hereford map 1100. I'll have to find it. Yeah, I'll have to look that up there, Lee. But now this small town, this very, very, very small town in the middle of West Texas, builds a 20 plus story hotel. And from like 1928 to 1930, the middle of the Depression, the start of the Depression, they built this community that is oil field only, basically, some farming. Not even oil field at the, in the early days. It was a crossroads. Old Highway 80 and 87, north and south, ran right through Big Spring. It's a crossroads. And we had a spring there. Very good. Very good for travelers. And you see these pictures, and there's just this wasteland. Just wasteland. Flat, desolate. It's got some old trees and some old mud flood stuff on it. It's got a beautiful flat peak mountain out, flat top mountain out in the horizon. It's got all these nice little hills. They're not really mountains. We call them mountains because we're from West Texas and that's all we know. But all this, I mean, it's nothing out there, but then boom, this 20-story freaking hotel jets up out of the flat plain. And in our town, they've torn them all down by about now. There's not many left. There are about 3 big red brick buildings. Just boom, 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 boom. Just kind of scattered. Nothing like it was a town, right? Like, hey, we're starting a town. Build a courthouse here next to it. Well, they didn't do that. This stuff is like all over the place. And you see some of these pictures. They took some pretty good pictures back then. But you see these pictures and you look around the landscape and it's like, that was in 1931. And then this next picture is 1947. And holy shit, this whole freaking, there's buildings everywhere. This whole town is filled up. It's filled up. It's going. What? Picture, they put up a little wooden shack on Old Highway 80 and 87 for people to stop, see the sights, stay for free. Yeah, it's like a little 5-bedroom house they put up there. You could stop in there and you could stay for free if they wanted you to stop at the Big Spring, right? It's kind of weird stuff, right? And you look at these things, these buildings especially, because if you go down Old Highway 80 and you can go all the way, doesn't matter, to the border by Shreveport, Longview, Marshall, over there, come straight down Highway 80 all the way to my house. All along the way, you have these unexplained landmarks. You have mineral wells, you have rock wall, you have, I mean, it's just boom, 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 all the way across. And then you get out to West Texas, and it is nothing out there. It is the crazy thing about West Texas, where I lived, is pretty much from Eastland on. You get to Eastland, which is headed east to Dallas, Fort Worth, all that. It's rolling hills, gets really green, but from Eastland on, you literally come over a hill and you can start seeing, bam, wow, forever. I mean, it's flat now, guys. It's flat. And you get to Eastland, Abilene, especially once you get to Abilene, you can almost see all the way to Big Spring. And that's 120 miles still. If it wasn't for the little bit of rolling, you could almost see that far. But when those people got out there, why did they do the things they did? Like, you got mineral wells. I showed y'all the story of mineral wells, where at one point they were selling a cup of it for a nickel. And that's like today's money, 90 bucks, 80 bucks a cup. And who's out there? Come on, dog. Come on, little dog. Come on, dog. You know, so they were selling that stuff. Come on. Jesus. Ah. We've got a crazy old dog. She's blind, half deaf. Here she comes. But she won't always come through the door. Open the gate. And she won't come through. She just stands there. Now she's going back to the gate. And then she's probably fixing to use the bathroom on me somewhere. Crazy old thing. But as I was saying, you just look through my area, West Texas, where I came from, and there's so many unexplained things. Those red brick buildings. There's some really, really neat stone buildings. And then out in the middle of nowhere in West Texas area, they these big pillars. These pillars out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody knows why. Also around Abilene, it's got one of those huge insane asylums. Right. I don't know, man. I don't know, Lee. I think we got more. I think there's more resources. There's more out there than we've been let on. I just know. You just take Texas. I mean, ours, it's so big. That what do they say? Everybody in the U.S. could have like an acre or two to themselves in West Texas, something along those lines. So it's hard for me to believe that across the plain, there's not plenty of resources, plenty of water, plenty of everything. They hoard them. They cut us off from them. They keep access from it. Because like they've always said, even going all the way back into Tesla days and stuff, was it Westinghouse that said with the famous quote of, well, what good is that? I can't put a meter on it. If they can't put a meter on it and charge you for it, they don't really want anything to do with it. But if they can, they will. And that's what they've done. Everything. And when you realize, now wait a minute, these guys, this isn't real. This isn't real at all. They lied to me. Then then things get better. Let's see. Oh, this was a good one right here. I don't know how many of y'all seen this, but Bill Gates kind of started this, and these people are moving it on. Oh, Days of Noah here. He's got a guy here that they're talking about rendering people allergic to animal protein to avoid global disaster through gases from livestock. So if we eat less livestock, right? If people are allergic to it and they have to eat alternatives, then hey, that's gonna That's gonna fix everything. What's this? Let me see if I get that one part where he's got that guy. That guy's on camera, and he is saying, let's go back here. Oh, I don't know how good my audio is going to be. I forgot. Dadgummit. This, this stupid system. I have a sound bar in the living room, and every time I turn this computer off and turn it back on, it connects to that one in there, not mine in here. Sorry. Let's try this again.
We're facing big global challenges. People don't believe that they can make a change, that you really, really can, because you making a change is the only change you can really make. When it times is 1.9 billion people, it makes a fundamental difference to the way that we live on this planet. Most importantly, it's natural, it's normal, and it's the way that we have to feed the future.
It's the way we have to feed the future. Did you hear him? Or straight from the World Economic Forum, just one of the faces of all of this. Let's not get, too worked up with the names and the faces, right? I'm a philosopher interested in a wide range of issues, including ethics, epistemology, metaphysics, moral psychology, and bioethics. I'm going to read as much of this guy's stuff as I can because I just can't see how you could be about all of this stuff, but at the same time, you want to genetically modify humans to be allergic to animal protein. Like,
These people, they're serious. They're serious. And what's funny about it, Dan's back. What's funny about it is these guys, they go to college, they get their degrees, they go to their extra schooling for doctorates and stuff, and they get worse. They believe more and more of the crap the longer they go. And the guy comes out going, yeah, I believe in sustainability and da. And the best way to do it is make you allergic. Yeah, we can genetically modify you where you'll be allergic to animal proteins. And that way your carbon footprint will be diminished because you're going to start eating bugs. And I watched a good deal on on bugs, and they have a ingredient in them. I think it's pronounced chitin or something like that. Chitin, that that as the bug develops, its nutritional numbers peak at a certain point, and then they go down. And before that peak moment and after that peak moment, if they're used or eaten, they have chemical reactions. And they did studies on lizards and stuff, like horny toads and things that eat only these bugs that we're saying are good protein for us, they're good for us. Now, they found out pretty darn quick all those animals had to have calcium supplements because that ingredient breaks down enzymes and it makes it where the animal couldn't uptake calcium. So they had to have calcium supplements. They got brittle bones. They started falling apart. And every study they've done, just about, I believe, from what I read, was it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can't just take these bugs and eat them and go, yeah, okay, sustain health. It doesn't work. If you don't know exactly the molecular stage that it's at that moment, it can kill you. It can make you violently ill because of the chemical breakdown at that point in the development of the bug. So, like the program that I was said, it said, okay, here we go again. Right now, you got people that, oh, wow, can't eat this. I have to take this because I'm allergic to that. Same thing's going to happen now. Oh, you're allergic to animal protein. Have you been taking your medicine? Are you taking, all your supplements? Because You're messed up now. Because right now, they call it a disease. If you have a autoimmune disorder or anything like that, where you have an allergy to something, you have a problem. But in the future, they're talking about giving you that problem. We're going to genetically modify you to have this problem so you can eat bugs for us. All right. One of the other ones, the crickets have parasites. What was it? I think one of the beetles or the mealworm they were talking about has a hair. It's called a hair worm, and it looks like a long hair. And it's got a hair worm, and it does the same kind of stuff. It goes in and breaks down all the chemicals and totally destroys, whatever eats that bug. It's crazy. These people are psychotic, man. How else do you explain it? It's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. I forgot to put the link in the chat. But it's just me and Lee. Somebody else is here. I hadn't talked to Ashley or Ella or any of them in a while. We been missing each other. Ashley sent me a message the other day. Said she's been up and at 'em every morning, gone. And I've been sleeping in. I've been sleeping so good. I've been sleeping good. So I ain't been getting up till 6:30, 7 o'clock every day. So I have been doing early shows. And Ashley, if you see this, send me a message and we will send up a time to meet. I can do it. On the home front, I'll tell you what news do I have. Oh, my old truck. I got the solenoid finally mounted and the brake line threaded in it. That was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Oh my God, that was so hard. That is at such a bad angle and such a tight spot. And it requires more than hand strength, but you can't get anything in there to apply more than hand strength. My hand is so sore. It hurts so bad. The middle of my hand hurts. I'm reaching up in there and trying to thread. It hurts, but I got it. Now I got a buddy coming over today, and we're gonna finish the brakes because it's hard because it's old pad brakes. It's not disc brakes, and put that together and get all the springs on it and do all that. Two hands better than one. It's hard. It ain't fun. But I'm gonna do that today. And let's see what else. We got our Las Vegas trip was canceled. We were going to Vegas in the 1st of November and going to SEMA. Gonna go see her sister and brother-in-law and her company. Did all change last week. Her company had a corporate deal set up for like the week after. Well, they moved it back to that week. Oh my God. Either that or she messed up. I'm not sure which one. She might have looked at it wrong, but she called me up going, we got to cancel the Vegas trip. We're not going. Man, I wanted to go play golf out there. I haven't played on a decent golf course in a long time. I did the oil change on my RV last week or week before. Now that's something that come at those people. Why do they do that shit? It's crazy. The oil fill on my RV it's a Class A with a flat front. You open up the front grill. Well, there's an air filter right there. The oil fill is behind it. It's a little rubber fill. And you have to take the air filter, all that out, and you can only get a quart up in there at a time to pour it. It's a pain in the ass. You got all the room in the world in those things, and they do something like that to you. That drove me crazy. Oh my God. Oh, and on RVs, they got the wheel covers on them. Well, to air up the outside tire, you have to take that thing off. Well, I don't know if many people know about this, but they take one of those things off. They look like they have lugs on them. Well, only 2 of them are actually lugs. And that's a special size. That's an inch and an eighth. And my biggest socket was no, it's an inch and a quarter. My biggest socket was an inch and an eighth. And so I didn't buy one just to take that off. That was a pain in the butt. That was a pain. That drove me crazy. But just to air up the outside tire, you got to take it off. You can't get to it. The inside tire has a long valve that they stick out to. You can reach it easy. Outside tire, not so easy. So I've been doing a lot of crap. My yard. I finally got my lawnmower working right. That thing was giving me trouble. Man, that thing was giving me trouble. It wouldn't run right once to the next time. So I took it to small engine repair place, and they said I had water in my gasoline. I don't know how that happened, but there was water in it. Man, they took it and cleaned it out and did all that. It's running good now. Running good. I don't know how water got in there. I just don't know. Terrible gas. But we here on the home front are doing well. Doing well. The second grandbaby's on his way. I'm gonna get that truck, get those brakes fixed. I'm gonna get a paint job on it, and I'm gonna start driving it every day. I'm gonna sell that Kia. What water? We forget how we become so dependent on everything, everybody. Nobody does things about it for themselves much anymore. A guy comes over and worked on my well. I was having trouble with my well. Well, now I've learned how to work on it. I can work on my own stuff. All I have to do is see it a couple of times. Somebody with some knowledge of it, and I can figure it out. I can work on it. But I miss being able to work on my vehicles. You know, I can just do a little bit at a time. My back starts killing me, so I get up, get ice, and take my time. But I miss being able to do all that on my own. I miss it. I had a funny little deal. I want to put another culvert and driveway in my front. I did one side. I want to do the other side. And the guy who did my one side called me and says, "Hey man, I just did one for a guy, and the city came out and he had to have a permit and stuff." He says, "I don't want to get in trouble or anything, so Bernie call city and get a permit." So, okay. So I call up the city and the guy goes, "Yeah, I'll email you an application." I don't get it. I don't get it. Well, I call him back. Finally get it, but it won't open. So I go up there, fill out the form instead. Guy calls me about an hour. Says, "Oh, hey man, you're outside the city limits. You need to call the county." So I call the county. Well, going into this with the city, the guy doing my deal says when he did, the city charged $600 to set it. So I'm doing the math. I'm like, okay. So I call the county. Yeah, come out, fill out an application. So I go out to the county, fill out an application, pay $25 fee, and I read all their stuff, and it doesn't say on there anywhere other than I provide materials. I have to do all the work just to their standard, right? Doesn't say anywhere where they're going to charge me more than that $25 fee. And it's funny because this one I did. We didn't get no county permit. We didn't call nobody. We just did it. So it'll be interesting to see when they come out here if they say anything about my other culvert. I'll see how they could, because it is perfect. It's nice. Guy did a great job. So I'm trying to get that done. And so I come home. And I ain't home an hour, man. And a county, Orange County, road and bridges truck pulls up out front. Sweet, they're already here, man. I go out there. Hey guys, y'all hear about my culvert? They're like, no, man, we're here to see Blockhead. My neighbor across the street, everybody calls him Blockhead. He's always working on cars and stuff. I ain't never seen him fix one, but he's always working on them. And so I'm like, really, y'all friends of his? You work for the county? He's got terrible drainage. His still don't drain. Our neighbor beside us, his creek, it needs dredged. It don't drain good. And she's like, they both were like, well, he never said nothing. All he had to do is tell us we can get this fixed for him. I'm like, well, you better say something then, because he ain't done nothing but cry to me since I moved here. And I've seen his side across the street, he floods, man. He gets bad real quick. My side, I drain fine. Well, I could drain better, but I don't do like him. And they're like, oh, well, shoot, man, what's your address and all this? And they write everything down. We're going to get this going. Well, he had left, and they didn't get to talk to him. And they leave. I see him later, and I come over and I go, hey, man, your friends that work for the county said all you had to do was tell them you weren't draining good, and they'd have fixed it. He started laughing. These damn motherfuckers, they can't fix nothing. They don't do nothing but drive around, fill up potholes. And I was like, hey, man, I'm just telling you. When I told them you had a problem, they were insistent. All you had to do was tell them. This would have been fixed a long time ago. Whoa, damn motherfucker. Oh, he's funny. He's crazy. I can sit here in my house, doors closed, and hear him talking to somebody across the street. When he gets on a phone call with somebody, oh my God, he's sitting out there hollering and screaming. Rah, 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 rah. Yeah, dude, we've been thinking on names. Yeah, we have. It's a girl, another girl, and she wants the initials to be MLGM. MLGM for a girl. And I was thinking the other day, and I thought, she wants something unusual. This is unusual. Maya Lajeunesse Gia McInnes. Mia and Gia, the Lajeunesse in the middle. I don't know. Mia Lajeunesse Gia McInnes. Kind of weird, right? Ain't nobody out there with that name. She worked hard to come up with Adeline Louise. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh, here, dude? Oh, man. Here where we live, it's, I get tired of it. Because it don't take much rain here to get sloppy and sloshy. And just, the bad part is it rains. The grass gets shin high, and you can't get out there and mow because it's all soft. My mower just bogged. It just, it got real bad there a couple months ago where it was raining almost every day. Man, the grass got so thick and nasty. Everything got bad. It got out of control. I called the lawn service a couple of weeks ago. Had some guys come over and weed eat everything down, get everything lined back up, and excuse me, and trim back up. Yeah, it rains a bunch out here. It rains a bunch. Kathy works 28 miles away over in Beaumont, and she'll call me going, "Is it raining over there?" And I'm like, "No, not yet." I go outside and look, and yeah, it's coming. And 20, 30 minutes, it's raining here. Yeah, it's just my name. It's not weird. It's different. Come on, Lee. Mia, M-I-A, Lajeunesse, Gia, G-I-A. I like it. Mia Lajeunesse Gia. Well, it's hard to do. We came up with her name, Madison, with with a Y. And then we took her other two names from her grandmothers, Leola and Jean. And that wasn't too hard. So now, and she doesn't, her husband doesn't want to honor grandmothers, mothers, aunts, or anything in the names. He don't want to do that. He don't want to do that at all. For both our daughters are named after their grandmothers and their great grandmothers. I do not know how Alan is doing. I hadn't talked to him. He had no more of his mail has come here. I've been cleaning up. I got a bunch of his stuff gathered up that he left. I saw he did a show the other day, but I hadn't talked to him. He hadn't called me. I hadn't had any reason to call him. I hope he's doing well. He seemed to be doing well. From the video, either he's in a new room in the place he's staying, or he's in a new place. But he hadn't told me. But he left a lot of his stuff here. So we'll see. Maybe he'll see this video. Holler at me. I don't know. He grown man. He's a grown man. He can do what he pleases. He was supposed to have, last time I talked to him, he was supposed to have been doing training to be a vendor at, I think, the Texans games, the football games. That they use these people from these shelters at the venues. And he was supposed to have been going and doing some training on, how to work at the venues. He's over in Houston. For his foot, he was going to have to get all his medical treatment in Houston. And there's no way we were going to drive him back and forth to Houston for all that. So he found himself a veterans home / halfway house. And we took him over there. He was kind of sketchy at first, he said. But hadn't heard from him in a while. I'm assuming he's doing fine. Because he knows my number if he needs me. It's like I told my parents, you don't want to deal with me every day. Okay. Call me when you need me. If you really need me, call me. But otherwise, move on down the road. Do your own thing. But when somebody needs me, I'll be there. I'll be there. I got no hard feelings. I got no animosity. This weather's changing. I've been getting worse every morning. I know it's bad enough. Most mornings, but man, getting worse. So, good and faithful servants. You know them when you see them, right? We know them when we see them. That's why it's hard for me when our spiritual leaders fall so short, because the other side, they don't understand repentance. They don't understand, no man is perfect. They just look at it as, okay, those are the ones you say are perfect, and look how terrible you people are. You're awful. Look at your leaders. And what do we do? What do you do? I mean, you can't deny those people are terrible people. And they're out there front and center going, yeah, I represent them good and faithful servants. Do you? Are they? Really? That's what gets me. That's what gets me. The face of Christianity is not the face of the good and faithful servant. It's of the greedy, egomaniac, narcissistic, power hungry, man. There's no semblance of a good and faithful servant in those people, and it hurts. It hurts us. But as the body of Christ, we know, we understand. Got to move forward as one. Can't be letting these little distractions get you off, get you out of your good place with God. We all get there our own way. We all understand that it is a individual journey, that your church, your preacher, your deacons, none of them are going to save you, man. None of them. Only you and Christ. Done. Over. Lights out. Nobody else is going to get you there. And all these secular people take that knowledge and put a blanket on us and go, look at your fellow Christians. None of y'all ain't no good. He ain't no good. He ain't no good. He ain't no good. They don't talk about you. They talk about them. And they just paint you with that broad brush. And it doesn't matter how good of a Christian you are, how giving, loving, humble, caring, sharing, and forgiving you are. They'll paint you with that brush because you're in that camp. And they get to free will with it too. You don't have to be associated with any church or anything. You just say I'm a Christian, and they go, they put this whole label on you. Yeah, I mean, it is a sense, for me, it does give me a sense of joy to see and hear these things. And they're so antithetical to Christ and a life with Christ. You see these guys. I brought him up a couple of videos ago. I think that Andrew Tate guy. Well, he's this new toxic masculinity guy, and it's all materialism. I mean, he builds this picture of materialism with the ideal man in the middle, and that to be an ideal man, you have to do all these things, and it's just wow. Social media, I think, is a psyop. By kicking him off of social media, his views went through the roof, and his infrastructure shared his videos for him. They knew it was going to happen that way, and it worked perfectly. But that's what they put out as a man. This guy's a man. He's a kickboxer. He's a millionaire. He owns a sports cars. He owns 7 or 8 supercars, not just any old cars. If you put somebody up there next to him, going, well, how come a Chevy pickup ain't good enough? Why do you need a McLaren? You could take that extra money and help people. They won't put that guy there, because he'd probably say to that guy, see, you're not a real man. You take everything. You take the biggest. You take the baddest. You have the top. You don't settle for the middle. You don't settle for the bottom. You're a man now. Okay, dude. I mean, these guys just, their whole philosophy is just, being a dick. Being a dick. And that's easy. Right. Well, Lee sees so many people look at the world and go, well, by myself, not much. But if I get a watch, if I get a car, if I get a house, if I get, a hot girlfriend, if I get these things, that'll make me something special. I'll be special. And that's what's funny. Is people say, I mean, it's hard to imagine, but they do. They wonder, who's looking at me? And do they like what they see? Am I perfectly aligned where when they see me, they go, whoa, there it is. These people, that's a hell of a programming. A hell of a programming. Because what's the deal with, what's his name? All of a sudden, can't remember his name. Steve Harvey. And this woman says, yeah, my husband, he don't feel like, he's adequate. He don't feel like he's, this and that. And Steve Harvey's advice was, well, I tell you what, he needs to go and get himself a nice suit. A nice suit. He needs to get his hair cut, get his shoes shined, get cleaned up, and look like something. And I'm like, really? This guy is, the way she's talking, he's obviously depressed. He has no motivation. He has none of that. And your advice is go buy a suit. Go buy a nice, pretty suit. You'll feel better. And now I got a suit. What do? I still a loser. Still not pulling my weight. I'm still not productive. I'm still not happy. But I got a suit. What do you do? What do you do? That is just good and faithful servants out there. I know all my friends are out there. I know you're there, and that's what gives me comfort. You watch these people bouncing around day to day, playing the game, struggling. It's a fight every day, worrying every day. It's got to be miserable. It's got to be miserable. I just thank God. I just thank God for his love and his charity and his grace, man. That's all I got in this world is him. Without him and his grace, I have no faith in this world. If I didn't know God, man, I'd be one of the worst suckers you could imagine. But I know God, and I know this. This ain't where it's at. It's not where it's at. Love, care, compassion. All right. Being there. That's a good question you see a lot of times is how many people have somebody, at least one person, that middle of the night tragedy, you can call them and they'll be there. That was another deal Steve Harvey was talking about. He says, man, I got one. I've been in this world a long time. I've had a lot of friends. He says, but even to this day, I only know of one person I can call and they'll be there. No questions asked. That's, how many people can say they've even got one? I know I've got two. I'm pretty sure I got two. But, I mean, those people got nobody. So let's be a little more Christian out there, folks. Let's try and let that, like the song says, let that light shine through. Because the rest of the world, unless they're blinded by that light, you're not going to see that light. Too many other distractions. Too many things going on. But I guess I'm an hour in. Well, that went quick. Natalie, thanks for being here, bud. And anybody else, appreciate y'all watching. I'm going to get going. My bud's supposed to be over here in a little bit, and we're going to get on them breaks. I hope. I've learned to never depend on other people. He said he's coming over 3 or 4 different times. He had to come. But I didn't, I don't press people. He's got a job. He worked. He was too tired. Fine. It's only going to take us about 20 minutes. And once we get past that, we're done. I'll have that truck driving today. So, love you all. Appreciate you all. Good discernment. Good vibrations. Take care, guys.